Oh, hello. It's Paul from the ESPC show, and today with me is
Megan.
it's a show with a difference because we are doing it virtually. And here we are. And there's a reason for that, isn't it, Megan?
Yeah, so our guest today is from a little bit further afield than usual. We're going to be joined by Marie O'Neill, who is based out in Dubai. She's a relocation expert, and she's going to be talking us through basically the process that's involved in moving to countries in the UAE, and yeah, everything that you need to know about it.
Absolutely. And it's an area that we know that there's a real interest in. I mean, we did an episode on Spain, which was really well received. And we thought, well, we're next. And we've heard a lot, and we've had a lot of inquiries about Dubai. And so we thought it'd be quite good to talk about that. So we're going to hear about Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and maybe some other places. Who knows? But yeah, this is our chat with Marie, and hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Okay, guys. So, as we mentioned in our intro, we are joined by Marie O'Neill, who is co-owner and managing director of EER. Welcome, Marie. You're going to chat to us about relocating to Dubai and all that's involved in that process. So, I wondered if, first of all, you could just tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Okay, great. Thank you, Megan, and thank you for having me on. Delighted to be here. So yeah, my name is Marie O'Neill. I'm the co-owner and managing director of EER, a relocation, immigration and corporate service provider. Head office is located in Dubai, but operating across the Middle East. We've got an office in Dubai, Abu Dhabi and Riyadh. I've been based in the Middle East for 16 years now, originally from Ireland. We offer services in UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman. So basically, anybody looking to relocate to the region, from setting up a company to residency options, and then the relocation side of either buying or renting a property, finding schools, education for their children, settling in, that we can assist with all of that.
Wow. So basically, anyone that's moving there, they need to speak to you, really, don't they, Marie?
Exactly. And we've been doing it for 18 years. So we're well experienced and yeah, have dealt with a wide range of clients from all over the world and different cultural backgrounds. And yeah, we're in an exciting location that's booming at the moment and has been for the last few years.
Yeah, well, we're going to come to that. I mean, I think let's dive into that. I mean, we were talking, I know we've had chats previously just about the sort of, we'll describe them as hotspots. I mean, everything's hot out in the Emirates, isn't it? But both climate-wise and property-wise. But so is it Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Would you say they're your two main areas that you operate in?
Yes, so traditionally Dubai was the hot spot in the main area, and it's where our head office is. And we also have an office and do some work in Abu Dhabi. But well, the hot spot in the last year, and I think the next 5 to 10 years to come, is definitely Saudi Arabia and Riyadh. But in regards to property, and I suppose high net worth individuals, private clients, Dubai is definitely the hot spot at the moment. And you know, we've seen a very positive trend and a huge influx since after COVID. So you've, I suppose, the property market here, you've two tiers. You have your super, high-end deluxe side where we have private clients, high net worth individuals coming in from all over the world. And as a result of COVID and then the Russian-Ukraine crisis, and the launch of a lot of new residency options here, we have a lot of clients from Europe, UK, Russia, India, Pakistan, looking at Dubai from a real estate market, purchasing property, and moving here and living here for several reasons. And, from a property perspective, it's a good market to invest in at the moment. But high net worths, traditionally they invested here, but there's been a shift in the last 2 to 3 years and since COVID where they're actually coming and living here and using Dubai as a base and a home.
Okay, that's a big shift.
For several reasons. It's, safety is number one and is coming up a lot with our clients, that they want to move to Dubai for safety reasons from several cities around the world. The economy is very good here. There are lots of, very positive investment opportunities, very low level of tax. The lifestyle, it's got a very good lifestyle, good weather, well, at least 8 months of the year. So there are a lot of positives. And from property market, there are a lot of deluxe high-end properties available here. And in regards to, square footage, what you get for your money compared to other major cities in the world like London or New York, you probably get 3 times the size here for the amount of money you would pay, especially in the high-end deluxe side.
Wow. You're selling it well. We come and see you.
Yeah, no, and look, I've been here 16 years. And I suppose I've just spoke there about the private client high-end side. That's one side of the market, and the deluxe side, and you're looking at properties anything from, £2 million up to £100 million for properties. And we recently had our most expensive penthouse sell here for £110 million on Palm Jumeirah. So that's one side of the market. But then you have your other side of the market where you have, your middle class and working people, like myself, that have come here many years ago, are new to Dubai and are purchasing properties. And you're looking at, I suppose, anything from £600 to under 100,000 up to £2 million. That's kind of the average for, say, a 2 to 3 million villa. And property prices, have increased a lot in the last 3 to 4 years. The deluxe side, they've increased, 40 to 80%. The kind of middle class side, then they've increased from 20 to 40%. For example, I bought a villa 18 months ago and it already has increased 20 to 25% in value. So it is a very active and in increasing in value market. But if we all had that crystal ball, who knows in the future? And I think if you look back at Dubai and, from a real estate perspective, it has its ups and downs. The market, it is very positive here. There is high demand. So we don't see the property market dropping, but, we don't know. And in the future, it may correct a little bit. But if it does drop, it could be 10, 20%. As I mentioned earlier, major cities around the world it's still undervalued, and you get more for your money. So it will come up again. It's just a cycle that happens.
Yeah, and as you say, it's when you compare it to other capital cities, absolutely. And as you say, the crime rate and everything else, and the way the thing has changed, and as you say, Saudi Arabia, I think, will go down a very similar route in the future. Yeah.
We've just spoken about the market, but I wonder do you see any kind of seasonality or anything with the market over there? We've started to notice that the seasonality is kind of coming back in over here, but I wondered if that was something that...
Yeah, well, in this part of the world, it's starting to slow down a little now, obviously Christmas, New Year, but in the summer here, so kind of June, July, August, it does drop off a bit because a lot of people leave the Middle East. They can't really handle the 50 degrees plus, so they get out of here. So you kind of have September to May as the highest, season and the most active time of the year, with a little drop over Christmas. And then during the summer, it will drop off. But, traditionally, it used to be more seasonal and you'd see a big drop in the summer, but the last few years it's been pretty much active, throughout the year, and the demand and popularity is there.
Good. So talking of demand, then, how, just in terms of somebody that maybe is approaching this, and we've had people from ESPC that have left and have gone over to Dubai, but how easy is it to buy a property then? What is the process over there, Mary?
Yeah, so as cities go, it's actually quite quick and relatively stress-free. And if you are a cash buyer and the property is not mortgaged, you can pretty much, from finding a property to transfer, you can do it in 1 to 2 weeks.
Wow.
If you're looking for a mortgage, you're kind of looking at 4 to 6 weeks approval. And then if the property is already mortgaged with the current owner, then you're looking at really 1 to 2 months for, a transfer and everything to go through. In regards to fees, it's a 4% land department fee the buyer pays, along with a 2% agency fee. So that's 6% you will pay as the buyer. Yeah. The seller doesn't pay anything. So again, as cities go around the world, that's very competitive and it's a relatively stress-free process. It's a very active market. So I suppose that's why it is quite streamlined here, and it has improved a lot over the last 5 to 10 years. And you're looking at, mortgage rates at the moment here, probably between 4 to 6% as well, which, as other countries around the world, it's kind of a little bit below, I would think, the UK and the US. Obviously, they've increased, 4 or 5 years ago, you were getting mortgages for 2-3%, but we all know things have changed in that regard.
Absolutely, yeah, that's quite right. And just in terms of mortgages, would you recommend then that somebody takes a mortgage when they're in Dubai, or is that something that they do from the UK, or does it depend where they're ultimately going to be working?
Yeah, it depends where they're working. Like you can get expat mortgages from the UK for here, but it's a little bit harder and you may get 60%. So here you will get 80-85% if you've been in permanent employment for a certain amount of time and you have your salary certificate and your pay slips, etc. But there's the deluxe market here. There are a lot of cash buyers in the UAE and Dubai, and I think it was something like 40% last year of transactions were cash transactions. So globally as well, the trend for cash transactions is quite high here. And that's the deluxe end mainly, but your, I suppose, middle class end, then it mainly would be mortgaged. And anything from 50 up to 80-85% under a mortgage.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Well, we've kind of touched on prices, but I wonder if you could maybe talk us through what type of home you could get for different kind of price structures.
So you kind of, when you look at pricing here, like you're looking at, I suppose, about £80,000 for your cheapest, the lower end. That would be, say, a studio 1-bedroom apartment. And then up to probably, £2 million. That's the kind of the average area and your middle class area. And you're looking at, if you're looking at a 3 to 4 bedroom villa in a nice community, you're probably looking at £600,000 to £2 million, depending on, there is huge variety here, depending on location, quality of the housing, the community, is it established or not? And then the distance from, we call it Shakeside Road, is the main road here and is closest to the beach and the water. So the nearer you are to that, the more premium your properties would be, and the higher the price as well, because traffic has become a bit of an issue in Dubai, and especially the last 6 months. So there are a lot of newer developments further out in the desert. You will get a lot more for your money, brand new, good quality, but then you'll have your distance and your traffic to deal with. So anything near to Shakeside Road is a premium. And they seem to be more well-established areas as well, with a community established around that, and obviously a higher price on that. But there is huge variety here. As I said, anything from £80,000 up to 2 million, and then your deluxe end, is kind of, there's no end to it at the moment. Seeing 110 million pounds for a property a few weeks back.
That's incredible. We celebrate the sale of 2 million. So it's like it's.
I think it was up there. There's still a more expensive penthouse sold in Monaco or London, but it's the top 3 in the world now for property prices.
Yeah, but as you say, first time buyers can get on the ladder. There is, as you say, even though it's a studio, which is certainly more than you're going to get in London. And I think that from memory, I remember going to Dubai, I've been a couple of times. Is it a tram service or a rail service? Very efficient, isn't it?
Yes. And it's a driverless rail system, and it was quite limited, but they've extended that, and they've plans to extend it more as well to go further out. So especially if you're living, near Shakeside Road, and a lot of the typical apartment areas, which would be the most popular, Dubai Marina, the Palm, downtown, everything, you would have access to the rail system, and taxis are quite popular here as well, and not as expensive as they would, say, be in the UK. And everyone seems to drive in Dubai, and households tend to have at least 2 cars, so hence the traffic problems at the moment.
Yeah, I remember going for a run, didn't see anyone. I didn't see anyone on the pavements, which is fine, because often I'm in their way, so it was nice. And so in terms of areas, then what's the up and coming areas? Actually, maybe we should just talk about Saudi Arabia just a little bit there, Marie.
Yeah, so in terms of areas, say in Dubai for property, the up and coming areas. So I suppose, look, from an apartment perspective, apartment living, somewhere near the water is always popular, like your Dubai Marina, Jumeirah. Downtown is also very popular. It's the DIFC area, which is a whole banking district. And then from a villa perspective, you'll be looking at Emirates Hills, Arabian Ranches. They were all the typical kind of areas, but areas that are being worked on now at the moment and kind of advanced are Business Bay, Dubai Hills. You've got Arabian Ranches 2 and 3, Jumeirah Golf Estates. And then, they would be the main ones. You have a lot of new ones coming up then further out that you'd have obviously distance and traffic issues, but they tend to be kind of the main premium areas that people would look at and expats would have a preference in living in.
Okay. And then when we think about Saudi Arabia, that you believe will become an emerging market in the next sort of 5 years?
Yeah. So look, what we're seeing is we're working with a lot of corporates and global corporates that are bringing a lot of people into Riyadh at the moment. And the Saudi government have mandated, if you want to work with the government there, you have to have your regional head office based in Riyadh. So a lot of companies that were head officed in Dubai are now moving their regional offices to Riyadh. And we're seeing a lot of movement of staff from Dubai to Riyadh. And I think, look, it's more from a corporate perspective at the moment and bringing in employees. They're, building cities, building, mega projects in Saudi Arabia, and they just need the manpower and the people there to facilitate that and to get to their 2030 vision. So I think the next 5 to 10 years, we'll see a lot of movement of people going in from a corporate perspective. I don't think you'll see for a long time yet, your private client, high net worth individuals. Dubai still has that lifestyle appeal to it. But, Saudi Arabia is changing and changing very quickly. So who knows in the future?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Marie.
I guess speaking about the future, Marie, what would you say then is the outlook for the market, maybe over the next 12 months or beyond?
Yeah, I think, look, if we're looking at Dubai, Dubai seems to always kind of, defy global trends and has done for many years. And it's, always launching new initiatives and from the economy perspective and also from an immigration perspective, they've launched a 10-year golden visa, which has been very popular and attracted a lot of people in because they've that security of living here for 10 years. So it is very positive. We're seeing people, from all over the world wanting to move here, even from a remote working, remote nomad perspective. People are choosing to live here and work remotely for their companies. Corporates are coming here, they're expanding here. So yeah, I believe it's very positive that the demand is there. People are coming in. We're seeing it from a relocation company. We're seeing our corporates bring in people. We're seeing private clients come here. So I don't see that trend changing. And I think, politically in the rest of the world and economies in the rest of the world, aren't so good in many countries at the moment, which again, Dubai is benefiting from. We're seeing, a lot more Chinese look at the market and coming in as well, and especially from the deluxe high end. And we think, 2024 could see even more of that trend. So very positive. I think for the region as a whole, Dubai from a property perspective, people coming in and Saudi, opening up and growing and building as much as they are. I think, it'll just help the region in general.
Okay, no, absolutely right. And again, we're not trying to encourage an exodus here, but it's a pretty liberal taxation regime as well, isn't it, really?
Yes, well, we've no income tax. We had a new corporation tax for the first time this year, 9%, which still is very low as a global standard. And it was actually taken quite positively, the introduction of corporation tax. It kind of aligns Dubai with the rest of the world and just it gives a better image to it. But yeah, as taxes go, it's very minimal here and a nice lifestyle, nice standard of living. And really, COVID was kind of the highlight of that, I think, from how well it handled, the situation. And a lot of high net worth saw, Dubai handled COVID very well, and it kind of brought the spotlight on Dubai, good infrastructure, good medical facilities. And yeah, people have been looking at it ever since. And then with unfortunate events in the rest of the world, it has become a more attractive location as well because of the economy and being very stable.
Yeah, absolutely, Marie. So if somebody is listening to the show and thinks, actually, I'd like more information, or they'd like to arrange an inspection or come out or just talk, are you happy to make yourself available, Marie?
Yeah, always. Look, we're always happy to have a call with somebody, answer any questions they have, give, initial advice to them. It can be daunting, but this is our speciality. This is what we do, you know, on a daily basis. We help people move here. So we'd be very happy to talk to anyone if they even just have a few questions they're looking to explore, maybe. Yeah, always happy to have a call and speak with them.
Brilliant. I'm sure people will find that very, very reassuring. And we know, as I say, you're connected through the relocation network with lots of global providers. So absolutely, you know your stuff. And as I say, you've been there a long time. So you've seen this market, you've seen it change. So absolutely. Thank you. Well, there you go. That was Marie. 50 degrees in summer. Wow. But certainly, I think what we picked up there was that, you know, it is an area that's in real growth. It's changed dramatically. It's more of a relaxed regime than it was. And I think I was really encouraged that, you know, £80,000 gets you on the ladder. And we shouldn't dismiss that. It's still a lot of money, but ultimately, it's achievable for some, isn't it? And the fact you can go over there and get a mortgage over there, have a smaller deposit, okay, you've got those taxes. But even so, it's doable, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I think you've got to think as well, as you mentioned just at the end there, they have a bit more of a desirable taxation model. So you might be paying.
I think we need to suggest that to the Scottish Government. I think maybe you could just. Was it 9% you mentioned?
Yeah,
let's scrap all the other bands. Let's just go with a flat 9. But yeah, absolutely. And interesting, as we say, Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia's gonna come good in years to come. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and yeah, just even obviously at the start, Marie mentioned more high-end properties, but also, yeah, as you said, finding out that it's, you know, there is a market for more affordable properties there, and you get a bit more for your money there than you would get in the UK.
Absolutely, so inclusive, absolutely. Okay, well, I think that was our first virtual. Did enjoy that. I must say it's nice to sit in the studio, but I think we got there, and hopefully our listeners are okay with that. I thought Marie was absolutely knows her stuff, and I thought it was great that she's made herself available there to anyone who wants to have a chat. So we'll post that information, won't we, Megan, in the notes at the end of the show.
Yeah, that'll be in the show notes. And yeah, this is actually our season finale. So this is our last episode.
Not a spot of tinsel in sight at this end or your end, which is a bit grim. But yeah, we just want to say happy Christmas and a very prosperous new year, and all the best to you and your loved ones for 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be back with season 3. Can you believe it? In February. We're going to take January off. We've got our ESPC live stream, which actually that episode will drop in the podcast feed on the 1st of February. But the event itself goes out live on the 31st of January. So you can be sure to tune in to that as well then. But as Paul said, I hope everyone has a lovely Christmas and New Year. And we'll see you when we get back.
Absolutely, and thanks again, guys, for everyone that's listened this year and for your feedback. It's really helped us, and it means so much to us. So we really, really do appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely, all the best, as they would say on Merseyside, and we will catch you next year. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.